Story. NTV can tonight reveal how the 1.5 billion shillings at the center of the Ruaraka land scandal was paid out by the National Lands Commission and was distributed to more than 30 entities and individuals. More than 260 million shillings was withdrawn in cash from an Equity Bank account. Get this, in 2 days, while the balance of more than 600 million shillings was redistributed in under 3 weeks by a company known as Whispering Palms Estate Limited.
While some companies and individuals are yet to be named, the revelations show that about 400 million shillings is still in the bank accounts of 2 of the major companies used to ultimately make out the payouts. NTV's Ken Mijungu breaks down the figures to the last coin.
At the center of the huge payout is an entity known as Whispering Palms Estate Limited. This is the entity that received the 1.5 billion shillings from the National Lands Commission in settlement of the Ruaraka land said to be owned by one Francis Mboro. Out of the 1.5 billion shillings, 930 million shillings went to Champions Kenya Limited, the ultimate distributor of the cash. The other beneficiaries of the 1.5 billion shillings directly from Whispering Palm Estate Limited includes John Murithi Mutwiri, who received 50 million shillings, Justin Samburu, 20 million shillings, Mark Mburu, 40 million shillings, Albert Kamunde and Company Advocates, 119.5 million shillings, Global Infrastructure, 48 million shillings, Kenya Arab Contractors Limited, 220 million shillings, M. Lorry Logistics Limited, 15.5 million shillings, and Mugove Mudzi Consultants, 2 million shillings, while 6 million shillings cannot be traced by the investigators. From the investigators, 261 million shillings was withdrawn in cash from the Champions Kenya Limited account at Equity Bank. The amount was withdrawn in 3 days between the 31st of January this year and the 2nd of February. 76 million shillings was withdrawn on the 31st, then another 3 million shillings was withdrawn on the same day. 58 million shillings was withdrawn on the 1st of February, then another 1 million shillings on the same day. On the 2nd of February, 14.5 million shillings was withdrawn, then another 52.4 million shillings was withdrawn on the same day. In the Whispering Palm Estates Limited account is 396 million shillings in balance. The rest was distributed to Gilbert Kirima Mithira, 3 million shillings, Stephen Maina Masharia, 3.3 million shillings, Titus Kioko Mutiso, 500,000 shillings, Albert Kamunde and Company, 50.2 million shillings, B.J. Sawe and Company Advocates, 125 million shillings, Boone Insurance Agency, 1.473 million shillings, C.W. Chege and Company Advocates, 6.657 million shillings, Ego Wings International, 4.7 million shillings, Innovius Limited, 35 million shillings, Jimex Company Limited, 2.285 million shillings, Meshak Onyango Dihei, 10 million shillings, while NR Nyamai and Company received 40 million shillings. In total, 648,694,580 shillings transactions done between the 31st of January and the 19th of February 2018. Out of the 125 million shillings received by BJ Sawe and Company Advocates, only 2.129 million shillings remains in their bank account. A total of 24.1 million shillings was issued in checks. 10 million shillings was paid to Global Infrastructure. Ndirangu Kamau and Advocates received 25 million shillings, while Shive Constructions Company Limited received 14 million shillings. 4 law firms were involved in the transaction, while 2 entities were paid either directly from Champions Kenya Limited or by another law firm. These transactions have been described by Parliament as a conspiracy to fleece and swindle public funds, and the National Lands Commission chairperson Mohamed Swazuri is at the center of it all. Questions of why the cash was redistributed to several companies, yet it was meant to compensate for loss of land to an individual entity, is yet to be answered. Also, how the court made an about turn and ordered bank accounts belonging to the entities that had received the cash to be unfrozen remains a mystery. A multi-agency investigation is still underway. Ken Mijungu, NTV.
Now for a little bit more detail on that story by Ken Mijungu that you should probably know. The Ruaraka land has accrued 3.9 billion owed to the Nairobi County as rates by the end of 2017. Curiously, that debt was waived by the county sometime back in January.
The 1.5 billion shillings was then released to Whispering Palms Limited as payment for the land which had suddenly and inexplicably become debt-free. When investigations into the payment started, the rates debt was slapped back on by the county.
And here is another confounding fact. The Ruaraka land is not owned by Whispering Palms Limited, which received the 1.5 billion shillings. And the land, according to testimony provided to Parliament by the Land CS, is registered under Hugh Lands and Afrison Import-Export Limited.
How then did Whispering Palms Limited get the 1.5 billion shillings payment? Here is another curious fact. There was a court order obtained by activist Okia Omtata in 2016 that stopped any payments to Afrison and Hewlands companies with regard to the Ruaraka land until the matter was heard.
And that order is still in force.